Issue 5 of Trail of Shadows has been out for a few days now, giving us the conclusion to the mini-series by Daniel Jose Older. This was probably my favorite Star Wars comic ever. The story is so vastly different from what we see all the time in Star Wars, and even though it is a High Republic story and by default directly connects into the High Republic, it seems to work perfectly as its own story that really has no connection to anything, which I know is weird to say, but it just works that way. The writing is so disconnected from the main story that you really just follow Sian and Emerick through this journey on their own. I read the entirety of issue 5 in roughly 5 minutes because I was so invested and it was so disappointing when it ended. I wanted the story to keep going for Emerick and Sian, and while I'm sure it will in the future of High Republic stories, I'm just not ready to see them go so soon. But let's go ahead and dive right into issue 5. Issue 5 holds nothing back, opening up right on the Leveler, tormenting Emerick's mind, with lingering fear giving off hallucinations, causing Emerick to see Sian as some horrid monster. But Sian is able to pull Emerick out of it as they start to interrogate Dr. Utterson after they finally apprehended him in the last issue. Right when they pull up to Starlight Beacon, falling apart right in front of them, Sian and Emerick know they need to help in whatever way that they can. But Utterson tries to turn them away, explaining that the sacking of Starlight Beacon has been thought out to every detail and potential outcome, and that there's nothing they can do. But thanks to Sian's quick thinking, they are able to crash directly into Starlight, where they are lucky enough to find Master Buck and the newly knighted Quart with all of the Padawans, who quickly start moving into the ship. But they're not alone. Something is lurking in the shadows down the corridor, an evil that Emerick must face if he is to solve the mystery of Loden Greatstorm's death. Emerick and Sian begin moving in on the Leveler when Emerick's vision starts to blur and change. Sian starts turning back into this beast we saw earlier as Emerick tries to rationalize with himself, saying that it's not real, and that it's all just hallucinations brought on by the Leveler. Emerick quickly realizes that because of the Leveler's powers, he won't be able to see its true form, and asks Sian to describe what she's seeing, only proving his point that whatever Emerick is seeing is not real. Sian watches as a long arm comes into the light with giant claws, but Emerick is seeing a bloody, deformed hand. The Leveler lunges at them, changing its hallucination, causing Emerick to see Stellan Gios instead. But Emerick knows it's a trick as he cuts off the head of the fake Stellan, and we see that he actually manages to cut off the forearm of the Leveler. The Nihil aren't far behind either as they quickly run up on the Jedi, causing Sian and Emerick to retreat. As Master Buck chooses to sacrifice himself, giving Emerick time to get the Padawans off Starlight Beacon before it crashes into the planet below. The plan is not a complete failure though, as not only did they save all of the Jedi Padawans, but Sian was also able to grab part of the Leveler that Emerick cut off, allowing them to start analyzing what it is, and hopefully find answers on how to stop it, ending the story of Trail of Shadows. I really love this story, but I absolutely hate how much they're just teasing us with the Leveler. I want to know its true form so bad and the wait is killing me. However, after reading The Fallen Star, it is nice to know what madness the Leveler causes in a pictured form, and I can definitely understand how the Jedi collapse out of fear of what they're seeing. It is hard though knowing that we'll have to wait for at least 1.5 years before we get any continuation to the story, knowing now that Phase 2 of the High Republic is set in the past, but I think it will be well worth the wait. The relationship between Emerick and Sian is so incredible. They have great personalities and great chemistry together, and we should protect them from Cavan Scott at all costs to ensure that he doesn't kill them off. I'm joking, of course, because I absolutely love Cavan, but really, please keep them safe. Overall, issue 5 was fantastic. The characters are so likable and the action is superb. Plus, the inclusion of the Leveler gives this comic an edge that I don't think the other High Republic comics have. And because of this, I look forward to rereading the entire series from start to finish. But that's everything I have to say about Trail of Shadows issue 5. But what were your thoughts? What are your overall thoughts and opinions on the series as a whole? Did you think issue 5 did a good job of ending the story? And what do you think about all of the scenes involving the Leveler? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. As always, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't, and remember, the Force will be with you, always.